Good evening and welcome to tonight's primary forum hosted by the Christian County Republican Party and the Christian County Young Republicans. My name is Matt McGowan. Before we get started, I'd like to thank the city for allowing us to use the council chambers tonight and for Mr. Darrell for assisting us with setting up and helping us guide through the program tonight. In this segment, we will have the Republican primary candidates for City Council Ward 9. Our format will be simple. Each candidate will have 2 minutes to introduce themselves. Once each candidate is finished with their introduction, we will begin a series of questions. Each candidate will have up to 3 minutes to answer each question. 30-second rebuttals will be granted upon the request of a candidate once each candidate has been given an opportunity to answer the original question. After our questions, each candidate will be given an additional 2 minutes for a closing statement. And Mr. Owens, you are up first with our opening statements. 2 minutes, please, sir.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you all for allowing us to be a part of this forum tonight. I'm Ardell Owens. I live on 1524 Bustle Street here in Hopkinsville. Been here over 45 years. Work at Max Cafe. I also do a little coaching. I'm a member of the Mount Olive Baptist Church, where I am a trustee. Also, I am the Ward 9 Neighborhood Association president, and I'm just want you guys to know, want the city to know, a change. If it's a change you believe in, you'll vote for me.
Thank you, Mr. Owens. And Jamie, your opening statement, please.
Hi, I'm Jamie Lineberger. I moved to Hopkinsville in 2019. I was looking for a place that was closer to a lot of my family, and this place fit the bill there. I live on 23rd Street. I've enjoyed Hopkinsville and what it has. I'm self-employed. I attend Restoration House Church there on the hill at McLean Avenue. And I have family in the military that are close by. I have family across the nation that live in different places. And just coming to Hopkinsville and living here for a while, I just, people had come to me and said, you know, we really need some help with city council. And I thought, okay, I'll run and see what happens. So here we are, and running for city council, Ward 9.
Thank you, Jamie. With that, we'll move on to our first question, and Jamie, this will come to you first. How can we better support and more efficiently fund our local law enforcement and emergency service agencies?
That's a loaded question. However, when I look at the city of Hopkinsville and recently where they've spent their money since I've lived here and have been looking into where they're spending their money, there are things that the city just doesn't need to do. We don't, you know, the water park is great. It's been closed since I've lived here, and I am a proponent of living within your budget. And I've looked at that thing, and it's not within the city's budget. Someone else needs to run it, someone that knows how to run a water park. And if that water park was sold, there would be money there. There are, you know, everybody says, well, we could cut services, or we could do this, or we could raise taxes. Those aren't the answers. You need mental health things. You need, you don't need to raise taxes. There are ways to live within your budget, whether you're a city or a citizen of the city. And getting into city council, I'm sure there are many ways that budgets could be trimmed and the city could live and the police could be funded, and we'd have good funding for the police department and the emergency services.
Thank you, Jamie. And the same question to you, Mr. Owens. How can we better support and more efficiently fund our local law enforcement and emergency service agencies?
Well, I'm going to talk mostly on the police department. I believe in what they're doing. Because, like I said, I'm in Ward 9. We have, of course, you had issues all in Hopkinsville, but this time we got a little bit more in Ward 9. And with Chief Sumner, when he went to the council and asked for those flock cameras, I think that's the best thing that we could have done. Just recently, we had some activities here in Hopkinsville, and the person that they were looking for came in the Dirt Avenue neighborhood, and the camera read their plate, and then it was able to arrest that person. So I believe in that. So anything I can do, we can do. And like I said, I can do as in if voted city council, I would do anything possibly that I could do is vote on and making sure that the police department get what they need when they ask for it.
Thank you, Mr. Owens. We'll move on to our second question. Mr. Owens, this will come to you first. What actions would you take to bring quality, high-paying jobs to our community?
Well, listening to the other candidates talk about that issue, I think what we can do is try to just open it up more to activities in the park. What can we do with job fairs to bring people in? And the young man that left earlier is, what can we do to get the people outside of Oak Grove to come to Hopkinsville because we're offering something, or get the Fort Campbell people to come through because we want to build the city of Hopkinsville up more than what it is.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Owens. And Jamie, same question to you. What actions would you take to bring quality, high-paying jobs to our community?
As I've been running for city council, I've been talking to a lot of people, excuse me. And, there's a lot of eateries. That's great. There's a lot of eateries. But the lack of things for families to do as a family unit other than eating. There's no real place where families can go enjoy a park. Yes, we've got the bridge. That's great. But there's not a lot of draw for families, like inexpensive activities, things to do, whether it's a painting party or go make your own craft and leave your mess at our place and we'll clean it up and you can come and craft with your family. There's nothing like that for families here. When you're talking about high-paying jobs, the boulevard is full of eateries. You're not going to get a lot of high-paying jobs, and you just can't force restaurants to start having a higher wage to draw people in. There's a lot of things when you looking for a partnership. Other candidates talked about a partnership with Fort Campbell. Recently, I know some people who came to Hopkinsville to register their vehicle. There was no friendship toward the military. They said it'll be X amount of thousands of dollars to register your car. Go to Clarksville. They'll give you a military discount. And they did, and they didn't have to pay anything. So we're not military friendly on a lot of things, and we're just not family friendly. And we have to get that way to draw people here, to have them to come to more than just having beer and wings on a Friday night. We've got to be proactive and market for families, because if we can market for them, they'll come. We can't build something expecting them to come. We have to market for them and find a way to get them here. And I know there's a way. I've got a lot of ideas that I think would work for the city.
Thank you, Jamie. We'll move on to our third question, and Jamie, this will come to you first. What practices would you implement to enhance government transparency?
I would like to see the city of Hopkinsville have a user-friendly website. They have a website, and you can maneuver it, and you can find things on it, but there's no real way to to communicate easily. A lot of people have said, well, it's complicated, it's this, it's that. I have a hard time finding things on the website. There's nothing interactive. I've lived in a lot of different communities where, whether it's the municipal Facebook page or the municipal website, it's interactive. You can post a question, other people can post a question. You can say, hey, there's a pothole at 9th and Main, let's get it fixed. There's this and that going on. As a citizen, prior to running for office, it took me a long time. I couldn't get a hold of anyone in a city building by phone. I had to search for email addresses, and finally I resorted to Facebook Messenger, and I was like, there's got to be an easier way to combine all of this to one location rather than searching webpage and Facebook and social media to find someone. It needs to be a little easier. And that can be done, I believe, yes.
Okay, thank you, Jamie. And Mr. Owens, the same question to you. What practices would you implement to enhance government transparency?
Well, I believe in social media, and I say that because, joining Neighborhood Association Dirt Avenue, when I started as president there, we didn't have a lot of followers there, and up to date, I think it's done double, tripled. I think right now we're looking at about 900 people that's done join or interested in what's going on. I believe in the more you make yourself available to any given site, people will join in, and that that's a way of communication. She mentioned Messenger. I mean, I can look in the room and I see people that I know, but I know how to reach people. And if I put myself out there for people to know who I am and what I'm looking for, I think that's a plus.
Thank you, Mr. Owens. With that, we'll move on to our last question. And Mr. Owens, this will come to you first. What distinguishes you from your opponent, and what makes you the most qualified candidate for this position?
Read that first one again, please.
What distinguishes you from your opponent, and what makes you the most qualified candidate for this position?
Well, I think the difference between me and Miss Jamie is, like, so I've been here a long time. I've been here over 45 years. I have been in different things. I've been in public for over 30 years dealing with when I was working at different restaurants. So people know me. That makes me the difference. And doing that, I believe, and it goes back to social media. People know me. They know what I'm about. I'm honest. I'm dependable. I'm trustful. And that's what Hopkinsville and City Ward 9 needs. Give me the second question again.
What makes you the most qualified candidate for this position?
Well, and that follows back up on it again. Been in Hopkinsville a long time. We have made a difference with Ward 9. Getting that page up to about 900 followers. And doing that and people know me, I think that makes me the better candidate.
Thank you, Mr. Owens. And Jamie, same question to you. What distinguishes you from your opponent, and what makes you the most qualified candidate for this position?
I'm not a member of the Good Old Boy Club. I've not lived here all my life. I can say that people know me. When you meet me, you know where I stand, whether it's, a supporter of the Constitution of the United States of America, the Second Amendment, God, pro-life. This is things I stand for. I don't rely on the fact that I've lived someplace, a long time to get a vote. I'm not opposed to that. That's kind of how it runs here in this state. And that may be an unpopular belief or a statement, but I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. You know where I stand. You know what I stand for. When people said, hey, run for office, at first I was like, oh, is there somebody else? Because it's a big responsibility. But yet I'm willing to take on that responsibility for the city that I live in, for the city that I've come to enjoy, and the city that I love, because I see a need. I just like to make a difference. And I'm one that says, you can change the world. But I'm not talking about the entire world. People think, oh, I'm out to change the world. No, my world is an oikos of 15 people who know 15 more people who know 15 more people. Next thing you know, you've got your community, you've got your city, you've got your county, and you make a big difference. And that's what I think that I bring to the table is I've been involved with the Republican Party and as a conservative for about 20 years. I ran a women's Republican group where I came from, and I just like to bring my beliefs and my convictions to the forefront and be here to serve the city.
Thank you, Jamie. And with that, we'll move on to, yes, Mr. Owens.
I just want to pick up one of the words she said, good old boys. I mean, that's defined a whole lot of ways. Now, I don't want to be defined as a good old boy. If you vote for me, Ward 9, it's because you know me as a person, not whose palms I'm rubbing or whatever I get coming into the city. So that's not me. And the members of the people that's watching this, I'm not a good old boy. I'm a man that believe in what I'm going to do, believe in the city, believe in what you're asking of me. So, and that's what I said earlier is that's a vote that you can believe in.
Thank you, Mr. Owens. And we'll move on to our closing statements. And Jamie, you'll be up first. Closing statement, 2 minutes, please.
I'm Jamie Lineberger, and I'm running for City Council, Ward 9. I'm here for the city. I've got integrity, and the word transparency, I've heard it so many times tonight. It's now just become a buzzword. But what you see is what you get. I'd like to be your candidate for Ward 9, to serve the city of Hopkinsville and the people that are here, and be there for you. If you've got a complaint, I'm easily reached. But I just like to bring my convictions, bring some fiscal conservativeness and some fiscal responsibility to the city, and to be here for you, the citizens of the city.
Thank you, Jamie. And Mr. Owens, your closing statement, please.
Well, like I said, I believe that within the last year, and I keep reference on that, being the president of Ward 9, I believe that me building that up, and I say me, is the people that was working with my people that was working with me. I believe that if you vote for me, the difference we made in Dirt Avenue Association, I can make a difference on city council. And understand, yesterday, I was looking at everybody's form and the mayor's form. I've seen what was going on with that. Just believe that Ward 9 is in everybody's conversation lately. Now, the things that happened in Ward 9 just didn't happen since I've been since I've been the president of Dirt Avenue Association. Those things just didn't happen. We need to believe in what I'm trying to push, believe in a change, and work with me, and I'll definitely show you that what we made a difference with the neighborhood association, I can make a difference with Ward 9.
Thank you, Mr. Owens. And that concludes our forum for City Council Ward 9. Please join us, stand by for our forum for City Council Ward 10. And don't forget to exercise your constitutional right to vote on May 17th. Thank you.
Thank you.